Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Tonight is the third installment of the series on fragrance-inspired moods. And tonight's mood is optimism and promise. So these 5-6 fragrances, I think, from my collection, are going to put you in an optimistic mood and make you anticipate various promises from whatever image pops into my mind associated with these fragrances. So grab yourself a beverage. Mine tonight is water again. And let's jump right in. The first fragrance we have is Funfair Evening by Maison Margiela. This fragrance is a 2012 release, and I don't want to get into the pricing because it is discontinued. That said, I have seen some available bottles and the pricing wasn't too bad. Let me tell you about this fragrance and why it makes me think of promise and why it makes me feel optimistic. Okay, there is, first of all, the notes. Star, anise, pear, apple, petitgrain, neroli, orange blossom, tuberose, etc. There's popcorn in this. And it is happiness, positivity, a night at a festival, one of those pop-up festivals, you know, the ones that come with the rides that come apart and you're just wondering, you know, am I or whomever I'm putting on this ride going to actually make it through? And the thrill of the whole experience is part of the fun. You know, and there's like the whole hammer thing where you hit the platform and it makes, I don't know, something go up. How hard you hit it is determinative of, you know, how high the gauge goes, and then you win a prize, and then you can throw like little balls into, you know, goldfish containers and win the goldfish. It's all good. It's great. Everyone has fun. And there are funnel cakes and caramel corn and, you know, caramelized pecans and all good things. Everyone has fun. And there's usually like a beach nearby, so there's, you know, the faintest hint of salt water in the air. Gorgeous stuff. It's also great if you're on some kind of a boardwalk situation in the evening. That's what this makes me think of. The noses behind this, by the way, are Jacques Cavalier Bellatrude and Marie Salamagne. It's youthful optimism, right? That's what you get from something this upbeat. It's promise of an amazing experience. It is, sadly, from what I can tell, discontinued, but hey, be optimistic. You might be able to score a bottle. It is Funfair Evening by Maison Margiela. This, by the way, is, oh gosh, how many mils is this? I wouldn't say it's about 100 mils and 100 mil in an EDP. All right, moving on. We have, oh, this one is so much fun, and I only have a 14 mil of this. It is Imaginary Authors, In Love with Everything. I hesitated on this because of the image on the bottle, which is, I think, a pair of women's legs, a woman's legs with roller skates on it. And the notes are neon, raspberry, not incandescent, neon, citrus pulp, coconut, palm, sugar, sandalwood, tropical punch, and stardust. I mean, who can't get behind these fantasy notes, right? But I wasn't sure if it was going to come off as a little too youthful for me. But in any event, this is a 2022 release. It's an EDP. 14 mil goes for $46. You can get larger, of course, and spend more. But I wanted to try it out because I just wasn't sure. I'll definitely go full bottle after I finish this up. It is so much fun. This makes me think of, you know, Totally awesome, radical, sweet, sticky sweet punch right in the face, just a great time that is so good it hurts. It's pop music, popcorn, pop rocks, the candy, the best of youth that like you can only appreciate at this point in your life, right? Remembering back at the time it was great, but remembering back now is nostalgic, and that's just incredible. And that's what I get from this fragrance. It leans feminine a bit, as does, for what it's worth, Funfair Evening. But so what? Wear what you want. It's an experience. It's a vibe. And if it makes you happy, do it. And this definitely does. There is, believe it or not, a strong fruit punch, citrusy kind of vibe going on in this. I think it's well characterized in the notes breakdown. Very cute. Purple, pink, neon, fabulous. It's imaginary authors in love with everything. Makes perfect sense. All right, next we've got Maison Margiela again. This is Dancing on the Moon. I think this may be discontinued as well, but what a shame, let me tell you, because this is gorgeous. It's a 2016 release. It's an EDP. I think it's also about 100 ml. So this is aldehydes, frangipani, jasmine, iris, cashmere, musk, and ambergris. This is really beautiful. It starts out more effervescent and uplifted and minerally, but it dries down with the slightest hint of a carbohydrate in there that makes it cozy while still being cosmic and cool. So cosmic, kind of like, when I say that, I mean, kind of the weird music you hear if you've ever gone to a planetarium and you sit in those seats that recline back, and like the whole room becomes the theater screen, and it's just really an immersive experience. And that music they play while it's going on, that's kind of the feeling you get when you smell this. It's mineral, it's earthy, as most beautifully imagined. It's not earthy like a truffle or anything like that, or even like a petrichor. No, this is earthy in a planetary sense. It's kind of a fantasy accord. Heavenly satisfaction, universally likable fragrance here. A little bit powdery again in that dry down, kind of a hugging, cozy, in the cold midst of space, there's something comforting about it. Maybe you're thinking about dancing on the moon, but it's not too far from Earth. So it's out there, but it's not Jupiter, so it's not too far. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along, but it's comforting. And that carb, by the way, as I smell it more, is a little bit of cooked rice just on the fringes of it. So you're dancing on the moon, but you have a tremendous mental safety net at the same time. It's not a dangerous dance, even though it's in outer space. You feel me? Go for it. Dancing on the Moon by Maison Margiela. Beautiful stuff. Okay, moving on. We've got a guaranteed love. Who doesn't love Orpheon by Diptyque? This one I got for one reason, and I grew to love for another. I had a positive experience when I smelled it in a major department store. And this, I feel like every time I smell Orpheon, I get something different from it. So this is a 75 ml EDP. It's a 2021 release, and I think it goes for about $250. It could be a little bit more now. This is juniper, jasmine, powdery notes, cedar, and tonka. As it dries down, it becomes a bit more woody. In fact, The cedar is there, but I would go a step further and say there's a darker wood involved, maybe even an oak. It's got the strength of a hardwood. And, you know, this is young, it's handsome, it leans masculine, it's full of promise, especially in the opening when it's a bit brighter and it's got that juniper zing to it. The person who wears this, you know, you just want to fall in love, right? This is a great date night fragrance. So uplifting and happy and positive, and, you know, not just any date night, but one of the first few dates, okay? Oh, it's lovely. It makes me think of, you know, taking a chance and smiling, you know, hoping for the best and the way that feels. It definitely gives me that. Once again, this leans a bit masculine to me, but I wear it all the time. I absolutely adore it. Orpheon by Diptyque. There we go. And I think you can now get this in an eau de toilette too, and I've heard it smells slightly different in that concentration. So let me know in the comments if you've experienced it and what you think. Next, another tried and true classic. It is Tom Ford's Soleil. This is a 50 ml EDP. It goes for about $300. It's a 2016 release, and the notes are pretty straightforward with this. It's amber, coconut, tropical florals. Oh, it's so beautiful. So it's kind of a citrus, coconut, clean, powdery, rich, lovely experience. The amber comes out more as it dries down, but it's not as much of a resinous amber. This is more of a fantasy amber note. And I think maybe that's a result of the melding with the coconut. Lifts it up and makes it a bit sweeter than normally it would be. The coconut, though, comes across as more of a garnish on this kind of universally pleasing treasure. It's absolutely stunning. It's indulgent. It's an easy reach. You know, you just feel the promise of a warm summer day, and that's what really makes me want to grab this time of year. Beautiful stuff. Soleil by Tom Ford. All right, last but definitely not least, I don't know how much you've heard about this fragrance. I get the impression the house is not as talked about as perhaps it should be. I thought I heard quite a bit about it, but I see in some of the comments, people are hearing about it for the first time here. Not everyone, but definitely some of you. And it is Chabaud Lumiere de Venise. There we go. This is an EDP. I will tell you the bottles come in different looks. There are some where the top is not clear plastic, which is what this is. It's nice and everything, but it's interesting too because it's got a hole there and it just kind of sits on top of this. Oops, like that. Yeah. But there are other bottles, and I thought the difference in the bottles meant a difference in concentration, but that's not true because there are some with this bottle type that are eau de toilette and others are eau de parfum like this one. So this is an EDP. It's 100 ml. It goes for about $160, and it is a 2015 release date. This is grapefruit, bergamot, peach, jasmine, rose, violet, patchouli, wood notes, tonka, oak moss, and sandalwood. This smells so special. I adore this, and it does have a bit of a nostalgic feel. This takes me right back to the late 80s, but please don't take that as a bad thing. There were some amazing fragrances back then, and there's something about this that takes me there. This is completely unisex, but it leans ever so slightly masculine. So the oak moss, the patchouli, and there's a conspicuously absent juniper note here. It is not listed among the notes, but I definitely get juniper in this. Combined with the fruit, really just give this a date night on the beach in a coastal city kind of vibe. You know, a first kiss, a first everything. This is some powerful stuff, and it makes you feel young and energetic again, no matter your age. I'm 53 and I just absolutely adore this stuff. And again, you know, whether it leans masculine or feminine, you know, this is just my opinion. If you love it, you wear it. And I absolutely love this. I can't get enough of it. It makes me feel amazing. It makes me think of wonderful events in my life. And it is truly special stuff, Chabaud. Lumiere de Venise. Check it out. There we go. Okay, so what do you think of tonight's lineup? Do you agree that these are optimistic fragrances? If so, why? I told you why. You should tell me in the comments. And if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.